a lot of these cases. And I think the epicenter for now in terms of our investigations is the Eastern Cape in Tebeja, where we have appointed and established a task team that is solely involved in investigating such cases. They are now actively investigating about 62 cases. They have identified a syndicate in the Kariga policing precinct, where we have identified an 11-member syndicate that has been positively linked to 18 murder cases, where people were murdered for the insurance monies or the funeral policies and the life policies and so on. Also in Tebeja, one individual linked to about, I think it's about 6 murder cases in Motherwell. The other individual is linked to about 14 cases in Motherwell, KwaNobuhle, and KwaDesi. The other individual, the third individual, is linked to about 8 cases, New Brighton, KwaDesi, and Chungwa, in the Chungwa area. So that team is actively investigating those 62 cases that have been positively linked to those that would insure people for the sole purpose of killing them months later and then benefiting from the cash payouts, whether it's from the banks or the insurance companies. On this particular case in Limpopo, you'll recall that we have been investigating the case. The lead investigator here is Captain Keshi Mabunda for quite some time. We've been investigating the case as far back as 2024, when we made the first arrest of the former police sergeant, Rachel. Right after arrest, we arrested her daughter, her sister, and her elder brother. So all along we have had 4 in custody. So today we executed 6 warrants of arrest because the 7th one has not been successfully executed. The person has not handed themselves over to the police. We did make contact, but we are still looking for that particular individual, believed to be the other brother, twin brother of Rachel Kutumela's other brother. So we successfully executed 6 warrants of arrest for those that we believe was part of the 11-member syndicate that was involved in the insurance murder payouts in the Limpopo area. Quite a sad story in which they were preying on vulnerable, underprivileged, somewhat disabled individuals. They would obviously win their trust. Some of them were working for them, and then they would make them take out your funeral policies or your insurance policies and so on. Months later, those particular individuals, about 10 of them, would be found murdered. More than 10 million so far has been paid out to Rachel and her accomplices. And we do believe that those that we have arrested benefited, and we are also positively linking them to all these murders because of the roles that they played. Some of them would take out the policies and then they would receive the monies and then send more than half back to Rachel. Rachel would then distribute to others and so on. So for now we've got 10 in custody, a total of 10 in custody. 1 is still outstanding and we are still investigating. So for now we feel that we have rounded up everyone that has been involved, but after taking the warning statements and after further interrogation, if our investigation then leads us to other suspects in this case, we will then effect other arrests. But for now, the main suspects are 11, which would include, for today, it was the senior school official who happens to be the husband of Rachel, and 2 brothers. We had also a Sangoma and a cousin that were arrested. And I think well done to the team led by Captain Keshi Mabunda, the Limpopo Provincial Tracking Team, that have been working hard. They should serve as a stern warning to those that are involved in the insurance matter payouts to say, no matter how long it takes, police will find you and they will make you answer to crimes committed. Quite heinous crimes, quite evil of human beings to do that to other human beings who had trusted them and so on.
It's quite concerning that, you know, this seems like a family affair. I mean, we're talking about 8 family members, people who are siblings and relatives.
Quite concerning. So it looked like it was a family business. You insure someone, kill them, later on benefit from the cash payouts and so on. It's quite evil. I don't think they should be regarded as human beings, because I don't think human beings can do such to other human beings. But be that as it may, we have a solid team in place, led by Captain Keshi Mabunda, working closely with the Limpopo tracking teams that are not backing down. Like I indicated, in the Eastern Cape alone, following the instruction by the National Commissioner General Fani Masemola, we have a dedicated team that is working on 62 active investigations that have been positively linked to the insurance matter payouts. We are not ruling out the possibility that this money-making scheme could be operating in other provinces as well, but we are building the capacity under Captain Keshi Mabunda. We also have a team in the Eastern Cape that is dedicated to investigating such cases. So really well done to the team. This was really great example of, you know, great detective work, meticulous investigation. I don't think they rushed into effecting arrests. I think they took their time and to ensure that they close all the loose ends, the loopholes and so on. And for now we've got 10 in custody, 1 still outstanding. If he does not hand himself over, we're then going to be circulating his picture out to the media to assist us to find him, because we do believe that these are people that shouldn't be roaming freely on the streets of South Africa. If they can kill their own family members, if they can kill close relatives and you know, underprivileged people for the sole purpose of cashing out on insurance and your life policies, your funeral policies and so on. And we are making a call as well to the banks and the insurance companies to say, put measures in place so that you are able to flag such activities taking place, because now we are talking about a total of 10 bodies. There may be more. You know, we can't get to a situation where we are counting 10 bodies. Already by the second or third body, we should have had something that is flagging that this individual is, you know, benefiting from or regularly, you know, receiving these cash payouts from these institutions and so on. So we are urging really the financial institutions also to strengthen the internal controls, to work closely with us to flag these type of individuals, because we can't have a situation where this is seen as a money-making scheme, because that is exactly what it is now. People are insuring family members, close relatives, or even strangers. I think in Gauteng, one person insured a helper, someone who cleaner in the house and so on. So it's quite heinous acts. And we do believe, I think, with the assistance of community members as well as these financial institutions, your insurance companies and the banks, will hopefully put a stop to it.
Asenda, I know that Rachel Kutumelo was facing about 32 charges, of course, including murder. Are you able to consolidate for us these ones, all in all, maybe? What kind of charges are they facing?
So I think they will be facing similar charges: murder, fraud, money laundering, defeating the ends of justice. We strongly believe that those that were arrested today, I think 2 of them, were actually the ones that would actually murder the victims. So we are just tightening up our investigation and hoping that by the time the trial starts, we will then have that overwhelming evidence that will place them on the crime scenes. So well done to the team once again. I think great detective work. A lot of hard work has gone into these cases, and we are calling on our communities to be extra vigilant. Don't be so free in giving people your ID numbers or copy of your ID, not knowing what that is going to be utilized for. As we've seen in this particular case and in many other cases, the Mafikeng case of Setwanto also ensuring her son, her late husband, and so on. Your Rosemary Ndlovu, who was convicted as well. So let's be extra vigilant. Don't be so trusting with your personal information to whether be it a family member, because what we've seen here, some family members trusted their own, but it was actually their own who ended up murdering them.
Just in short, a reminder in terms when you're saying that they were murdered. You know, with Agnes Setwanto's case, they used poison. What kind of tactics they used here?
So it looks like these people, they really do an extensive research, but because we are told that when you claim for accidental cover, you actually get double. So when you get shot or you die in an accident, insurance companies and banks, they pay double. So they did their research quite well. That's why we are saying it was an organized syndicate that was involved in this family affair, because they all made sure that their victims died under mysterious circumstances. Some were shot and killed, some were hit by objects, some were poisoned, and so on. But all that will then come out during the trial. I think more details will come out during the trial, and I think Rachel's trial is going to commence later on this year.